8mm videotape was very thin and easily damaged. In addition to the mold problem that a lot of them had when they weren't properly stored, damaged camcorders created a lot more havoc. Bad pinch rollers or bent guides cause this type of damage, which sometimes can be repaired, sometimes
So
not.
I got a tape to work on. Actually, this is the tape I have to archive. But you see, there's a problem with this tape. And the problem with this tape is if we look at it, you can probably clearly see where the fault is on here. We look at the tape reel. This one's full. But this one here looks to be half full. How can that happen? How can we have a full spool of tape over here and this one looks like it's half full? Well, the problem that happened when this tape was being recorded is that the camera had a bad pinch roller. And as you can see, what it's done is it's put a wrinkle in the bottom of the tape. It's actually folded the tape edge over. And that means that the tape reel on the left side, the supply side, is now full and cannot accept any more tape. I'll tighten that up a bit. And so I can't rewind it to play it. Also, if I tried to play it, this reel would get full much quicker and jam the machine. So what I need to do is I need to find a scrap tape. I just so happen that I have a broken tape here, but I'm sure I can find other ones. I'm going to have to take a tape and I'm going to have to sacrifice the contents of it. This one says tests. Obviously it's a tape that I was using for testing stuff and it got broken. So I can probably sacrifice this one just to get a shell, because what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to cut this tape and splice it on to an empty reel so I can rewind it and then recover it and then do the same, then use the reel as a take-up reel to do the other side. So looks like the back half of this tape is the one that's probably got the least amount on it, so I'm just going to sacrifice one reel unless I can find another tape that's damaged and shot, but I think this is the one I'll end up using. Is this one right here. So first things first, I need to open up the donor cassette. We'll get a smaller screwdriver. I think this one's a little smaller. Yeah, that one will fit. So I need to open up the shell. So we're basically going to create two cassettes from this. So I can get the back half of it, get the back half, or get the front half removed first, transfer that over, and then put an empty reel on and do the other half of the tape. And hopefully I can get the whole tape done. These are the type of recoveries which run into a little bit more money, like demolding a tape. When you've got a tape that was recorded with a defective camera, it certainly makes it a lot more work to try to do a recovery. And sometimes people, when they find out how much it costs to do this, they walk away from their recordings because just they don't want to do it. Some tapes take a little more work than others to do this too. So this one here, I'm just going to discard whatever's on this part of the tape because, well, this tape is garbage anyway. There was nothing on it worth keeping. I'll keep this part because I'll probably splice this back together, use it again as a test tape once I'm done. But we'll get rid of all what was on here. There wouldn't have been anything on here. This was probably a new tape at some point when I was using this for testing, or something that had been erased. So there won't be anything on here worth keeping. So let me just despool this tape, throw the tape away, and we'll use the hub to fix the other tape for recovery. So now I do the same thing. This is the customer's tape that's defective. So we'll open this one up. We'll open this one up. And this is my replacement shell. So as you can see how much tape is actually wound around here, I'm going to actually have to transfer some of this tape over to the other spool because this one here is so bound up that it won't even rewind. So we're going to just take the tape spool and I'm going to spin some of it onto the other spool here before I cut it. As you can see what's happened here, you see, if we look closely at it, you'll see the bottom edge of the tape is actually crunched down here. I actually have two tapes that are just as bad a shape. I have another one that actually broke when I tried to play it, it snapped because it was all wound up. So I'm going to have to do the same on that. But I had a bunch of tapes. I think about seven or eight tapes come in, and 2 of them were like this. So this is all we can do to try to recover it. Yes, the picture is going to have interference in it for sure because the bottom edge of the tape is kind of damaged. Hopefully it will. Hopefully we'll be able to get a recovery off this. There's no guarantee when physical damage has occurred. And this was a common problem when guides got damaged on cameras or the pinch roller got damaged and the tape was getting crunched between the pinch roller and the capstan shaft due to another guide that had either been bent or fallen out. But we'll just get enough of this tape off of this spool here so that this other reel is not going to bind. And I think I'm past the damaged area now. It looks like on the tape I'm past the damaged area. So yeah, so we'll cut it right about here. To be indiscriminate here, just cut it. Okay, so this is the remainder of the tape. We'll do that on the second pass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this jammed up batch of tape, complete with all the dust that I got on it. Oh well, the dust isn't going to hurt it. It's going to go through my machine once. We'll splice this onto the leader. Doesn't have to be a real good splice, just one that's going to last long enough to get this through the machine once. And since this is never going to come in contact with the heads, I don't really have to worry too much about it because the machine will stop long before this gets anywhere near the heads. So as long as I trim it to the point where it will wind up, then we're good. Wind the tape up and onto this new supply spool. And then I'll rewind it, and I won't rewind it in the camera. I'm going to use my external tape rewinder to do this, obviously. We'll get the top cover back on. Just go like that. Put a few screws back in it just to hold it together. I'll go grab the tape rewinder and I'll get the tape rewinding and see whether I can actually get anything to play off of this tape. That's the big question mark. Is there going to be anything that I can recover? If I can get the tape to recover, then once it's recovered, then I'll leave it. I'll leave it spooled back up on the original spool. I'm going to rewind it, recover it, take it back out, then take that empty reel and splice it to the remainder and get the second half of the tape to transfer. Okay, I'll now rewind the damaged tape using my tape rewinder. You can see how fast this thing winds up because of the fold that's in the tape. There's actually not much on here because of the damage to the tape. So now I'm going to take this in and I'll try to play this back on my playback machine and get a recovery off of it. Once it's done, I'll then splice the back half of the tape on and get the back half and do the same for the other tape. The other ones, I have another one identical to this. So I won't need to show you that, but let's go inside and see if I can get a recovery off this tape. So I'm going to use my little Sony Digital 8 camera. And subject to this damaged tape, that's okay because I got lots of these things to work with. One of the reasons I'm using this one is this is the one that I modified so that I can clean the heads quickly if I need to. This cover will just pop off. So I can access the head to clean it if I need to quickly. That's one of the reasons I like to use this camera. I've got 2 of them, but this is the only one that I've modded to remove the cover quickly. So the tape will go into here We'll see pretty quick whether I will get a picture off of it. So I'm trying to play the tape now, and as you can see, I am going to get a picture off of this. It might not be perfect, but I should be able to get a recovery off this. So I'm going to start my cloner alliance up now. We'll just rewind the tape back a bit here a bit, so I can start it right at the beginning. Record. There we go. So I recorded in 4x3, which is how it's supposed to be. And considering how damaged this tape was, I think the client will be very happy to get a recording back, considering the tape itself was physically damaged. That was the beauty of 8mm, is even though the bottom edge of that tape is damaged, that area that was damaged is actually where optional PCM audio would have been recorded. The AFM sound and the video was on the top portion, and we have sound. So now it's just a matter of recording the contents of the tape and then removing the shell again and putting the other half on and getting the other half also recovered. See, there'll be sections on here where there may not be any signal as well, and I just get a blue screen, but I think for the most part we're going to have a successful capture. That's right off of the plasma, so as you can see, the picture is looking good. It also plays fine on the camera, the viewfinder as well. Okay, there was 15 minutes on that tape. I got all of it transferred over, so now it's time to take the tape out and put the back half in and continue. So as you can see, the tape is now packed correctly after going through my machine. You saw how much was on here when it had the twist in it, but just going through my camera actually straightened the tape out. The tape's actually lying flat again, which is how it should be. I'm going to now just take the tape out, and I mean, I guess I could just splice it back onto here and continue, because there should be enough space. But what I'll do is, just to make sure, I'll just do it. I'll just splice it on to the empty reel, finish it up, and then put the tape back together when I'm done. That way I don't have to worry about it jamming up. So once again, open up the shell. At least in this case, the camera hadn't gone out of alignment. A lot of times what causes the tape to get jammed like that is when a guide post falls out. And this was quite common on a lot of the Canon cameras. One of the guides actually physically fell out. And when that happens, of course, the actual alignment of the recording is incorrect. So even if you straighten up the tape, you don't get anything playing back, because the tape itself was recorded out of spec. That'll be used to put the thing back together once I finish this off. So we'll just set that out of the way for now and get the remainder of the tape. And I'll just tack this back on and put the shell back together, and then just continue on, and hopefully the tape is full. Just like that. I probably don't need to put all the screws back in, because they're going to be coming out again in a few minutes, just enough to hold the cassette closed. I'll just put the two in the front here. I should point out that I didn't actually have to sacrifice that tape. I could have taken any 8mm tape that was at the beginning and just cut the leader off, cut the leader and use the tape.
and then put it back together, so I didn't have to sacrifice a tape. It's just that one that I used was one that was already ripped in the middle. That's why I just ripped off the remaining tape. Had I not had that, I would have just taken a good tape and just taken the leader off at the beginning, used the empty spool to do what I've just done here, and then put it back together. And this reel will be going back into that test tape when I'm done. It'll just be a shorter test tape that I'll continue to use for testing cameras and stuff. So once again, tape plays, and get the record button going here as soon as something comes up on the camera. Or is there any? There we go. Hit record, and I can now record the remainder of this tape. But anyway, now you know what to do when you have a tape that's folded over like that and spilling over the edge of the tape reel and will not rewind or move because it's jammed up. Just get an empty shell, cut it in two, and make 2 short tapes out of it. That way you can pass it through the machine to make a recovery. And providing it was just damaged on the bottom edge like this, the playback should be pretty good. If the damage was caused because a guide fell out, like it happened on a lot of the Canon cameras, you probably are not going to have as good a results as I'm having here. This customer was actually very lucky that the way their camera failed physically damaged the tape, but did not damage the electronic signals that were on it. And here's the second tape from the same customer. You can see this one here is actually, you can even see it's kind of crunched here on the tape spool, but this one's another one in the same condition. You can see how full the reels are, so obviously the tape was getting folded over on this one when it was winding up. So just like the other one, once the other one's finished transferring, I'll be having to open this one up and go through the same process to recover this one. And the other tape, I'm getting a full recovery off it. Hopefully I'll be just as lucky with this one. Anyway, now you guys know how to repair these tapes that have been folded in half and damaged like this, to try to get them to lie flat when they won't rewind on their own. Thanks for watching.